another video episode of my podcast. My name is Cheryl, and this is Cappuccino Crafts, my little channel on YouTube and my corner of the general interwebs where I like to talk about knitting and crochet and books and TV and movies and other life and general chatty things that I want to talk about with you. So thank you very much for choosing to watch this video and spend a little bit of your time with me. I appreciate it so much, and I hope that you enjoy it. Please settle in, get yourself a delicious beverage of your choice, and grab your yarn, your hook, your needles, your embroidery, your spinning, whatever you like, and let's enjoy a good crafty chatty time. So this week went pretty fast, and yeah, that's a theme recently, but fine, good, things got done and things are moving, so keeping on the train. I hope that you are too. I hope that you are well, and that you had a pretty good week. Hi, this is me from a little bit later in the afternoon. I'm sitting down with my tea. And there's something I forgot to tell you. And when I made my tea, I remembered. And today's tea is Mango Tango, which is a black tea with fruit and natural mango flavors from Tea Source. And I add milk and vanilla syrup, and it's delicious. But there's a little clip. I wanted a little clip of pouring the tea into a teacup. And I did that little clip yesterday, and I had a different tea, obviously, and I was using a different cup, but getting that shot, because I had my camera in this hand, and I'm pouring with this hand, and first of all, yeah, I missed the cup the first time I tried to do it. I just missed the whole cup and poured it on my tray. I'm like, that's great. And tried a couple more times, and the last time I did it, same, I had holding the camera, I have the teapot, both hands, and the pouring, I got a good shot of the pouring. That was great. And then when I was pulling the teapot away and also pulling back with the camera a little bit, I wasn't paying attention, and the kettle dipped too low, and I spilt tea on my leg. I spilt tea on myself filming that, and I thought it was funny. I had to laugh at myself. Don't worry, I did not get burned. The tea was not that hot because I wasn't ready to drink it right away. So the tea sat in the kettle for a little bit before I was ready to actually drink it. So it was still warm. It was nicely warm, but I did not burn myself when I poured the tea on my leg. Yeah, but I just thought that was funny, and I wanted to share that with you. And yeah, just a little behind the scenes, little funny story. And now back to the rest of the video. And let's start with the crafts. I have finished. I don't want to like spread it out and show you all the details because this is a mystery pattern, and you know, it's supposed to be a surprise, but I do have the first clue finished. It is a shawl, a triangular shawl designed by Aroha Knits, who is a fabulous designer, and I have followed her on Instagram for a long time. And if you are very active and enjoy Instagram and knitting Instagram, then I recommend her as a lovely person to follow because her designs are really beautiful, and just she seems to be a really great person, and I really like her voice and the things that she chooses to support and talk about. So clue 1 is done. I think there's a total of 4 or 5. So there's 3 or 4 clues left. It's 2 more days. Today is August 24th, Monday, and August 26th is when the next clue gets released. So I am excited for that. I've enjoyed it so far, and this is the yarn. This is for the Craftivist cowl, which is organized by Lady Dye Yarns, and another really, really nice Instagram feed to follow. But she organized this Craftivist cowl and is collaborating with people like Aroha Knits, but Lady Dye dyed this yarn, and it'll take two skeins. I wound them up. This is how much I've used. This hasn't been touched yet. This is how much I've used so far in clue 1. So it's a little bit smaller, but not hugely smaller. Of course, as you get farther down the shawl and the rows get longer, the clues are going to take more yarn. But that's where we are right now. Also, I am still progressing and really enjoying this crochet lace summery scarf, really an accessory scarf. It's not really, it's just to look pretty, but it is very pretty. I like it so much. Here, I think this side is the nicer side. Although with crochet, I have to be honest. With crochet, I don't really know which is the right and wrong side. Although if you're going back and forth, there probably isn't a right and wrong side because you're going back and forth. And anyway, yeah, that's a tangent I don't think we need to follow. But I am really liking this, and I am very close to halfway because this is how much thread I have left of this Aunt Lydia's crochet thread number 10 in aqua. So this is how much is left of the first, but I have this one to finish it. So we are very close to halfway, and I think it'll be a nice size for a little accessory scarf. It'll definitely go around, and it won't be like super short and like barely tie. If I want to tie it, I can tie it. If I want to just drape it, I can drape it, and it'll be really long, pretty long. Anyway, so I think that it'll be the perfect length, and I'm really, really enjoying it. So that's my crafting. I wonder, what are you crafting right now? Are you knitting, crocheting, embroidery, cross stitch? And how are your projects going? I'd love to chat with you about it in the comments. So if you'd like to leave a comment telling me what your crafting projects are right now, I'd love to hear about it. Reading, again, has been going well. I finished 2 books this week. And they were long ones. I finished The Little Stranger by Sarah Waters, and it was really good. It was really good. It was very atmospheric, very spooky atmosphere, and it had a little paranormal flavor, but it wasn't highly focused on the paranormal. Well, maybe that's debatable how much the focus, but I wouldn't primarily call it a ghost story, or it's definitely not a horror novel, and I don't think really primarily I wouldn't necessarily call it really a ghost story, as that wasn't the main point. It was more of a symbol, really. And also Sarah Waters, although I do believe she left clues, and I do believe Sarah Waters had an intention of which side she wanted to come down on, whether it was actual paranormal or not. But if that's what the author's theory was, she didn't necessarily make it absolute canon, and she left it totally open for the reader to decide how they wanted to interpret it. And you could totally, as a reader, decide that you wanted to say that it wasn't paranormal, and that would be totally up to you as a reader, how you wanted to see the story. Yeah, it was good. It was a really good historical fiction. The characters, they started out kind of really interesting and maybe slightly sympathetic, depending on how you react to them, but they had a more sympathetic side in the beginning. But then things kind of unraveled and you learned more, different sides of them developed, and they were pretty complicated, and I enjoyed that. And at the end, I was just like, "Ma!" I was so like, the end really had me gripped. And I was talking back to the characters. I'm like, you tell him right now. Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah, so it was good. But I think reading some of the reviews and hearing some people talk about, I've seen a couple people talk about it on their booktube. I think it depends on what you expected going into it. And if you really expected more on the ghosty, horror, scary side, this book is not going to deliver that. Um, so I think as long as you have your expectations set more accurately, you have a much better chance of really getting into this book. Yeah. But I think it did suffer a little bit because I think a lot of readers did have different expectations. But for me, it was great. And I finished The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. And I have really mixed feelings about this book. There were things that I loved, things that I really loved. I loved the world that she was building. It was colorful, it was vivid, it was big and epic. And there was exciting plot, which I loved. I just really got so sick of the romance aspect. It did not get better. It got a little bit worse for me. I know some people, from some of the reviews that I've read, it just depends on whether you can get on board with that. And enemies to lovers really is not something I generally like. And this was, I didn't feel that they belong together at all, that they're completely wrong, not suited, not compatible in any way for a really nice and happy and stable relationship. And they were annoying me to no end. So I think I'm done. I know there's a chance I might change my mind if enough time passes and I kind of forget how much I was annoyed. I might change my mind later and be willing to try the second one in the series, but I really do think I'm done, and that's a little disappointing because it was a great world and I think she's telling a good story, but I just wasn't able to fully enjoy it and couldn't get fully on board. So yeah. But I'm glad I read it, because I would have always been really curious and wondered. And I'm glad I got a taste of the world, because I'm glad I got to experience that world that she built. I just don't think that I want to spend more time there. So, anything else? I haven't really been watching anything special. It's been mostly the reading, and then just if I have something video on, it's just something to kind of be in the background, or just something really just chatty and keeping me company, like on YouTube. So yeah, maybe this weekend or this week I'll watch a movie. Like, I picked Knives Out last weekend and that was a really good one. So maybe I will pretty soon pick another movie to watch and hope that it's a really good one that I want to talk up to you guys. But I think we've reached the end for now, and I hope that you have a good week coming up. I hope that your projects and everything goes well for you. And see you later. Bye bye.